First of all, hello everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
I'm right here with Errol Harvey, one of my clients.
How y'all doing out there?
Amazing musician, owns his own business. This guy is very knowledgeable and he's really taught me a lot of lessons from the short time that I've known him. And
I appreciate that.
we're about to have a really nice conversation today.
Yeah.
And so, Errol, I know that your stage name is Errol Harvey. I really like how you adopted this is your real legal name.
Yeah.
And that's something that you want to take up and you want to be known as Errol Harvey. Why is that?
I think that my name and branding me as an individual is more important than hiding behind the facade of something else that I created other than myself. That's just my take on it. I don't want to be nobody else. I don't want to have no one else's name. I don't want to be called anything else other than by my name. People they look at, man, why did you choose, your name instead of a stage name? Because I wanted to be me, myself. I wanted to just stay in my lane. If you stay in your lane, there's less traffic. I have to worry about being, or having the same name that somebody else using in another state at another time. There was somebody else's name, but if you have your name that your parents cared enough about you to give you, that's your name, not your government name. That's your name. Use that name. Patent that name. Brand that name, because that's your name. That's your unique description. Your unique name. It was just solely for you. So I choose Errol Harvey. And I'm going to stick to it till the wheels fall off. A lot of people be looking to I want to be the best at this, the best, and who is the best? How do you classify or label someone as the best? You be good at what you do and you give the best of your ability to do it to be good. Not to be in competition with somebody, because it's going to always be somebody better than you. It's going to be somebody always that can run faster than you, that, look better than you. That's just a reality. So that shouldn't be a focal point. I don't think so. What you think? Even with music, I think like I write a lot of songs. It's not based on what I think other people would like. It's my expression of the unique experiences that I went through. The things that I've actually done. None of it is not a fabricated story that I put together to try to influence or encourage somebody. It's an actual event or question that I ask. What can we do to change our lives? When I said in the song "Can We," if you remember that one, it was like, baby, can we forget about the past and learn the future? And it's easy to see that the world is moving faster than it used to. Just think about us playing games that never have an ending. It gotta be a way out. We have to stop pretending. It was like,
How do you stop pretending?
you have to just be truthful about whatever it is that you gonna do in the life. Because when you enter in a relationship, it's just you bring your baggage, she brings her baggage. It does not matter what the baggage is if this is someone that you decide that you want to be with. You let all of that go. You and her are starting from here, not from 10 or 15 years ago, or 5 or 6 boyfriends, or 5 or 6 women on your part. You're not starting there. You starting today, and do you have the courage to forget about the past and learn the future?
So, but when you talk about that, are you telling me that I need to forget? Because I mean, I find a lot of value on past experiences, whether they're negative or positive. You see certain patterns on people, and then you tell to yourself, okay, when I find the right partner, based on the past experiences that I've had, I want somebody like this. Maybe it's a trait from maybe the last ex-boyfriends or girlfriends I had in the past. There's a quality of each person that I want in that person. Like I want that for my future. Or maybe they did things that I didn't like in the past. And I mean, a lot of the times this society, it's so focused on what's going on, and then it's hard to find people who are on the right path. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And so sometimes based on those past experiences, you learn that, you know, you have to keep that guard up, because you never know.
You can't. How would you ever find or even be able to understand real love if you're guarded all the time? If you're looking for the perfect individual that has to have this or that characteristic, whatever it is that you want, sometimes it's not just out there. Sometimes it has to be created. Why else do you think you have a mind? To create, to figure out, to develop. It's not everything you look for is not there. If you see something that's there, it's because somebody sat down and took all the time it took for them to develop that idea, to bring it to fruition, to materialize it. They had to bring it about. So if you look for the perfect individual, sometimes she may have to be created. But are you too willing to do that? To fight for each other? Because you can't do it by yourself. And you can't change nobody. They have to want to change in order to create a life with you.
But that's what I'm saying. What are the green lights in somebody that will let you know that this person is willing to change? You know what I mean? And a lot of the times we don't know that. Because a lot of times people don't show their true selves.
Because we never asked this question. Everybody enter a relationship. Just like when you meet, people always had this mask on. This best behavior thing. Why? That's not you. So the beginning is a lie. The foundation. So anything you put on top of that, it ain't gonna work no way. Why? Because you started out wrong.
Ooh, I've never heard that before.
You have to start out telling the truth. Do you have the courage to do that? To tell someone something ugly about yourself? Do you have that courage? And do they have the courage and willingness to accept that ugly thing about you? To demonstrate a love to turn it around and impact your life and change your life. Because even like somebody that has been traumatized in their life, it's like when they see the authenticity of how you truly feel and the compassion that you have for them and that traumatizing experiences that they went through, they let the guard down because they see that you are serious. But when we approach a relationship, regardless of what kind it is, with a mask on and you guarded, I'm guarded, we just defensive. And if I don't like the idea, then I'm not going to do business with you. If I don't like the idea, then we can't have a relationship together. It's a learning period. What happened to courtship? Remember courtship when you used to have to carry books for 2 years from this class to that class just to, to get a peck on a job? We don't even have that no more. What happened to those days? Those were learning periods of going through the different experiences that lead up to an understanding of, okay, I can deal with this person. I could accept all of the baggage that they bring to the table.
So are you saying that, you kind of have to just be the bigger person and stick true to yourself in hopes that that person will see that truth and they'd be willing to change themselves, and so when you both come in a relationship, it can flourish the way it's supposed to?
I think that
Is it possible to influence somebody to that level?
Yes, but you should start by reducing it to you. You can't dictate another person. All you can be is who you are. Okay. And that person has to be, they has to have a consistency that somebody can see that you ain't gonna be this way today, and then whenever a conflict or a crisis arise, you somebody else. Because when you fail under pressure, your strength too small. You ain't who you say you is. You've been faking all along.
Yes.
Well, that's the way I think you should look at it, because reduce it to you. What do you want? Because if you don't know what you want, how you gonna know when you get it?
Yeah.
People say they want this. Okay, are you willing to sacrifice what is necessary in order to have that? You can't just say you want it and not be prepared to keep it. You may get it, but you're not prepared to keep it. And you only get one life. How many people are you going to go through trying to find Mr. or Mrs. Right?
Yeah.
And I think, music has an influence on that, because there is a lot of stories in music. It's a lot of passion. It's a lot of drama. And it's a lot of pain and hurt that people express. That's their way of expressing themselves. But people don't make that kind of music anymore. You have to go back to old school music, which a lot of it was a whole lot going on in the music. But I think today, that the time that we live in, that you have to be so honest, you have to be brutally honest.
In order for people to listen.
And you have to have the courage to continually be brutally honest. I'd rather be known for being brutally honest than for faking. Then I just, I don't want to be no sanctimonious hypocrite, a cold faker.
So you don't believe on the fake it till you make it?
No.
Statement?
No, you can't, it don't fake it till you make it where?
If you don't know what you want.
Where you going if you faking? If you're not serious, then you're not gonna make it, because you're not making the necessary sacrifices in order to get there. And once you get there, you got to learn how to stay there or grow. Not digress and come back down. See, a lot of us, we walk around with a shovel in our hand, and we just dig a lot of holes that we don't know how to climb out of, and it's your fault, and I want to drag you down with me, and I'm just on an emotional roller coaster. Put the shovel down, but I have to realize I have one, and not a lot of people know that. But again, when we express ourselves through music, it's like we're trying to paint a picture of what we've seen, what we've been through. And a lot of the youngsters, they haven't been through anything in order to articulate something. So they read.
What do you mean by that?
For example, if you just start coming outside, you haven't been through a situation where you learn emotional intelligence, or how to understand how to befriend someone else, or how to play fair with someone else. Like on the playground when we were kids, and you go and you play, you have to learn how to swing and share.
Right.
With someone else that you just don't know. And we learned that as kids. And a lot of times, the playground proverbs that we had as children, they didn't trickle off into adulthood. And so we lost touch with our emotional intelligence. We didn't mature. We just kept having birthdays, but we didn't mature.
Interesting.